Oh, you can see my hands. Why, hello there. My name is Cabrina. Welcome to my cooking show. Today we're going to be making stuffed peppers with a little bit of pasta with some pasta sauce. So, as we started, I did some boiling water for the pasta because I'm going to make some pasta. Put a little bit of oil in there. I know some people don't like oil in their water, but it does keep the noodles from sticking together. If you go and you fail to leave the room, so then you can use a spoon, you know. This here, I'm making a separate little thing of sauce, and I'm going to be making the turkey, the ground turkey, and mixing this together with some onions, some garlic, fresh parsley, green onions, celery, and to top off everything in the end, I'm adding a little bit of avocado, because that's the way I do it.
Whee!
So I just kept the peppers in here for now, because I'm going to be cutting up and doing some preparation, so just like I was doing. So I add 2 cloves of garlic, and an onion, half an onion. I'm not going to do that. I might add a little bit of the carrots if it's left over, why not? You can never be too careful, you know, well, you know what I mean. You go and add the carrot, and then you chop it up in half because you don't want huge chunks. And then what this is going to do is going to add a little sweetness too to your tomato sauce and add a little sweetness to the pepper once it goes and it gets cooked down a little bit. So, this is what we're doing right now. Just cutting it up, making sure it's small pieces so you don't want huge chunks of carrots, especially if it doesn't get cooked through the oven really well, because then it's not good. Even though I love my dad, he always puts chunks of carrots in his pasta, and I never liked it. I never told him that. I loved his pasta, I've always loved it, except for the carrots. So, so this is what we're doing. Chop, chop, chop away. Getting this carrot. I'm not a chef, ladies and gentlemen, so give me some time. I mean, I can cook good, but I can't really cut stuff as fast as a normal chef would, like Chef Morimoto. Sorry, Morimoto, if I screwed your name up. Bobby Flay, I love you. Okay, so we're going to add some carrots to both, just to give a little flavor. And today, to add a little more texture and everything, we preheated the oven to 425 because, honestly, I didn't know. I looked on the internet and it said 425, so I'm like, okay, I'll put it on 425 today then. Normally I put for 350, but when I've done that prior, I felt like the pepper wasn't cooked enough, so I'm like, maybe I'll bump it up a little bit. Turn it down the end. Having a glass of wine, too, while I'm doing this.
Cheers!
Cheers! Today, in my mixture, I'm going to be adding some cinnamon and some cumin, I think. And what that's going to do is just going to add a little bit of flavor. Obviously, salt. Salt your water for your pasta very well. I learned this on a cooking channel, so I always extra salt my water for the pasta because it gives flavor to the pasta. Salt, always. Each time you add a layer of food, you add a layer of salt. That's what I learned on the cooking channel too. Good flavor. Then, I'm going to do a little poultry seasoning. So that's marjoram, whatever, thyme, coriander. Well, it has a little salt in there, so you got to be a little careful. But if you add just like a teaspoon, well, not a teaspoon maybe. Yeah, little teaspoon in each, just to give a little flavor to the peppers. That's good. I don't know where the pepper is, so we're going to have to just deal with what we got. We're going to be adding, alright, ladies and gentlemen, the secret ingredient, cinnamon. So we're going to add about, not too much, that was probably a little too much, but only, it'll make it sweet, you know? We're going to add a little cumin too, why not? About a teaspoon of that, perfect. That's going to give some really nice, strength, powerful, like, Spanishy flavor with a little bit of the really smokiness of that cinnamon. Honestly, we don't need thyme, so we just use it. Fresh parsley, green onions are always great for the finish. And then I'm going to cut up a little celery to give a little crunch, a little texture. Very important when you're making something. Texture, sweet, a little bit of salt, a little bit of crunch. So that's why I'm going to be adding some celery today. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to cut this, well, that didn't work out well, but that's okay. We're going to cut this again.
Don't cut your finger now.
I cut my finger on scissors But I don't cut my finger making food. It's pretty interesting. Very, very small, again, because I'm not a fan of big chunks in my food. Some people may like it. My dad, like I said, likes it. Big chunks of tomatoes in the salads. I like tiny, tiny little things. I think when you consume too much of the flavor, it's just too much, you know, too heavy. Just gonna chop, chop, chop away. Just in the mixture for the turkey, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. You don't need it in a tomato sauce. So you're just gonna do this. Chop.
Oh, sugar.
Baby!
Sugar!
Well, why not? I'm gonna add a couple sprigs of asparagus. Chop that up fine. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the next step, I just saw the asparagus in the fridge and I'm like, why not throw it in there? I'm like, whatever, let's do it, right? So, you never use the ends of these because they're very coarse. Oh, they're very coarse, you don't need them. So I'm just going to cut these up again, finely chopped, just kind of get the sprigs of them. We're making stuffed peppers, so stuff whatever you want in there. That's why they're called stuffed peppers. So you can get whatever you want, make your own recipe. You can make a Spanish version, you can make a Italian version, you can do whatever you want. So just keep this, chop, chop, chop away again. I can't wait to see this when this is over.
I know, dude. I'm gonna edit it and shit.
Dude,
music.
No way you should! Yeah, you could take me out saying that. Bam. So you got a little asparagus in there too, just to add, why not? Add some nice vegetables in there. Get some freshness, some cleanliness in there, whatever. Alright, now we're going to brown this and cook this down a little bit. Use a little EVOO today. I'll copy, what's her name when she says that? What's her name again?
Rachel Ray?
Yeah, Rachel Ray when she says that. Smells delicious. The cinnamon really always, I've made stuffed peppers before and it really just brought out this awesome flavor. I loved it. But make sure you're using a lot of sauce too because it'll get sucked up really quick. So you always want to make sure you have some sauce left over. So we're just going to cook this down, ladies and gentlemen, for a couple minutes. And I'll be back in a minute. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to add some brown rice today. Brown rice is better than white rice. White rice. Why? Because it is not an enriched flour. Even though this kind, I don't really know how healthy it is. It probably has high fructose corn syrup. Oh no, okay. Whole grain brown rice. No fructose, high fructose corn syrup. Even though since
oil in a bag.
Oil in a bag. Even though the microwave too is not good for you. Really, we should not be using this in our society these days, but we do. Convenience. Because we gotta work. We gotta make a living. But anyways, so what we're gonna do is I'm going to throw this in the microwave. I'm sorry I'm not being a good chef. And I don't feel like waiting for 30 minutes to cook some rice. And I'm just going to, in the end, I'm going to throw it in with the mixture. So you don't want to overcook it, you know? So I'm going to do that last. This is going to be my last step. But we do have some Jenny O ground turkey that I'm going to be putting in this mixture to stuff into those beautiful, delectable peppers. Yes. 2 for 1. 2 for 1 right here. That's why I got them. Alright, so just let the flavors marinate, the garlic, the onions, carrot, celery, all those great flavors, the cinnamon, thyme. It's going to be so good. Alright, I like to cook it down a little bit, you know, like to get the flavors out. And now we're moving on to the next step. Ground turkey. Healthier, lean turkey. We're not using ground beef with all the fat, even though I'm sorry I had bacon this morning. So, I'm going to eat healthier tonight for dinner. That's what I do. So, we're going to put the whole thing of turkey in here. Don't be shy. Because you got a lot of peppers and stuff. Got 4. For my mom, my sister, and my friend over here, and myself. And we got some pasta I'm going to be making on the side. Because you always need a side of something. I don't agree with these one-time meal things, you know. So, What do? We add a little more salt. Only a little. You don't want to get too salty. You're literally gonna add like that much, like less than a teaspoon. And you know what? What the hell? I'm gonna add a little more cinnamon. And then we're gonna cook this down. Oh, I forgot. You always need some hot peppers. Even though Sarah doesn't like a lot of heat, so this is what I'm gonna do. That's it. So she doesn't like hot food. Oh no?
You can go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead. Do it up.
Do it up. It's alright. This is what I'm doing. I'm breaking all this down. It's gonna be delicious. Made them a couple times before, they always turned out good. So it always makes me happy. So we're doing this, just breaking it down. And we can cook it fairly much the whole way. But we're going to start by, we're going to let this cook a little bit, and then I'm going to start getting to the peppers and taking the insides out. So we'll be right back. Hello again. Alright, well, so the turkey, the onions, the asparagus, the carrots, the onions, all the herbs, everything that makes this great is all cooking down. I'm going to put it on low right now. I'm going to add some stewed tomatoes. This is just going to add a little bit of brightness, a little bit of color, a little bit more of sweetness. Like we've been saying, you always want a little sweet. So we're going to add a whole can of that in there. Stewed tomatoes. And we're going to just chop this up. This is going to add a little bit more moisture too, so it does the turkey when it's cooking in the oven doesn't get dried out. Make sure you really get these chunks down, you know. And I started back here. It's only a little pot of sauce because we're not doing too much. But obviously you always need some onions and garlic, olive oil, salt, pepper in there to make a nice sauce. Chunks probably a little too large, but that's alright. It'll still taste good. Boiling some water over here for the pasta too. But basically, this is how it's going right now. So we're going to put this in there. Mix this around, make sure these chunks get smaller here. Waiting for my mom to come home because, you know, I like to make my mom dinner sometimes, kids. It's a nice gesture. I think everyone should do it once in a while. Alright. And this is what we're doing. We're just going to mix this around. Still let this cook down a little bit. You really don't need too much more cooking time because it's going to be cooking in the oven. So we're going to turn that off for a minute. Because really, you're going to have all the... And the tomatoes are already pre-cooked, so you don't need to worry. You just need to heat them up a little bit. So, and then we're just going to keep making sure that this is getting mixed around here. We're going to leave this. We're going to let this go. This is a lot. You probably could use this for the next couple days, actually. And you know, you can make this. You can make some pasta, put it on top of some pasta again. You could turn it into kind of like a meatloaf if you wanted. If you want to add some egg, a little breadcrumbs, put it in the oven again, you know, bake it. Potentially you could do that. Yeah. Alright. We're working over to the beautiful peppers. I try to get the large ones so you have a little bit more to eat, so you're not just eating some tiny little things. Oh, I'm going to get this out. Of course, my mom and my sister like to juice. I do too. I just haven't been doing it since I moved out here about 8 months ago. But, so we're going to get rid of that out of the way. All this, just get rid of it. We don't need it. We don't need any of it. It's all gone. Down the trash. You could have used that for soup though. You can always use scraps like that too for broth, chicken broth, something like that. So we're going to cut the tops off. Make sure to get that stem. It's a pain in the butt. Don't rip the pepper either. But perfect. See? Stuffed peppers, baby. And I'm just gonna make that. Still have. You can even use these and chop them up and put them in what you just made, but you don't have to either. But typically, I mean, I was doing that for a little bit. So I'm going to cut that up too. I'm going to cut out this core in here. Cut out that whole core. Bam. You don't need this anymore. You got all the seeds, unless you feel like growing peppers. So, some people might want to do that. Sarah. Unfortunately here, I cut the bottom a little too much, but it will be alright. Don't worry about it. Okay, so we're going to cut that one. Cut that. Oh, we're done. Well, let's take this little thing out here. Don't need this anymore. And just make sure you get like these little corners here. Oh, you're good.
I like those.
Oh, I forgot. Sarah, my friend over here, likes to eat them raw. So if you want to eat these too, you can have them. Yes. Here. So we're just going to take this all out. There you go. Put them back in here. Well, we might put a little tomato sauce at the bottom so the bottoms don't burn. So we're going to come over here now. And I'm going to make a little pasta sauce. So we're just going to let that cook down. We're going to add this crushed tomatoes. Value. I think it's only 79 cents. For people that don't have a lot of money, it's a good thing. So we're just going to get this open here. Perfect. And we're going to add this. There. And we're also going to add a little alpadio or alpato. I don't even know how to pronounce it. And this is just like a spicier red sauce. It just gives a little more flavor. You can never go wrong with flavor. Anything that you can do to give that. So we're going to add that in there. That's going to be a nice sauce there. And then, let's see. Obviously, what do we do, guys? Salt and pepper. So I'm going to walk over here by Sarah. Nice onions and carrots going in there. I'm going to add a little more olive oil. It gives a little more flavor. Maybe about a tablespoon less than that. No hot peppers because we use that really hot sauce in there. So we're going to add a little salt in here. I'm not doing any of the fancy salts. I don't have the money for that, so don't expect me to be in that. So just a nice tablespoon possibly of salt. We're going to spin that around. And we're going to let this simmer until the peppers are done. This is what my grandma did. She always let the sauce cook and simmer all day long. All day. So that's sauce is like wine. The older it is, the better it is. It's just the logic behind it. We're going to add a little Italian seasoning. Of course, since I'm Italian, that's what we do. So, yeah, the same ones I used in this. So this has like some oregano, and I would add a nice heaping 2 tablespoons. You don't need to be shy with herbs. I just put them in. So it just adds more flavor to the sauce. And the carrots, like I said, are going to add the sweetness, the garlic and the onion. Going to add the flavor too. Of course, our mixture is looking beautiful over here. Nice and filling. So, hello. Alright, so even though we're cooking the sauce over here, I might add a little bit more, I don't know. But I'm adding a little bit to the bottom. It's just like your lasagna. This is going to keep it from sticking, and it's just going to keep the moisture in. Always good to put a little sauce in the bottom of your pan when you're making stuffed peppers. So you're going to cook them like that, and then we're going to stuff them once this rice is cooked in the microwave. So, yeah, I'm drinking a glass of wine. It's nice and sweet. It's this nice turning leaf Pinot Grigio. Very good, very good. Whoop. I'm going to put this on low again. If it works. Oh. Yep. Just put this on low. This sauce is cooking. I might add a little more of this and just crushed tomatoes here because I think it's not going to be enough sauce for 4 of us. Having a little bit of pasta. Put a little in here. So a little bit more. Salt. Now we're just gonna add more flavors here. We're gonna add some more of the Italian seasonings again. You always want to layer your flavors. That's how I do it anyways. It's worked for me, so. And then we're gonna add a little bit of some fancy garlic. It smells good. There. So we're gonna let this cook down, like I said, until everything's done. We won't add the pasta to the last minute, to about the last 12 minutes. So we'll turn it, well, we can leave it boiling a little bit. The water will go down. So, let this cook a little bit, and we'll be right back. Alright, so we're getting the rice out. Ow. Yeah. Ah! This isn't a good way to do it, guys. But we're putting some rice in the mixture, like I said. Trying to get it out as good as I can right now. Remember, brown rice, healthier for you. Even though it came out of the microwave, it still is brown rice. It's not white rice, it's not all bad for you. You know what I mean? So, I think 1 bag of rice will do for the peppers, actually. I was going to do 2, but this also, too, will suck up a lot of the liquid that you had, so it won't be watery filling. This is why they use rice, to bulk it up, give you some more substance in there. I add a little more salt, too. I needed more salt. It's your preference, how salty you like your food, but I think it brings out the flavor a lot more. See the sauce simmering away back here. Ooh, you okay? Mm-hmm. Just keep it simmering away, keep it on low, you don't need any high temps there. Yeah, this is done. We're gonna start stuffing. Let's turn on.
No. I think it's automatic.
Really? Wow.
This microwave is pretty scary. It's pretty powerful.
It is. It's one of our most powerful weapons in the household. Okay, so.
Beware, burglars.
Beware. Alright, so. Get everything else out of the way. This is very hot, so I'm going to move this. It's going to fall too. So I have broken glass in my feet and hot water. Okay, so we got that. So we're just going to get a spoon. Turn the mixture off. It's going to cook the rest of the way in the oven. Nice heaping spoonfuls. Don't be shy. And then we're going to do this. Actually, we might have enough mixture for all 4. Get a nice heaping amount in there. Now those look banging. I don't know about all you back home, but I'm ready to eat these. Then we're going to fill this one too. Fill them all. Nice peppers. Alright. The last little bits. And then what we're going to do here. Sorry if it falls out. I mean, whatever. Normally I put a little egg to bind it, but we don't have to. It's not necessary. Now look how good those look. Yes. And then over here I'm going to grab my green onion and my fresh parsley. And we're going to put some on top just to add some more freshness and flavor. Everything is about flavor. The more flavor you add, the more fresh herbs and spices, the more flavor and texture you're going to get. So just finely chop. You don't need to, coarsely chop. You don't need anything spectacular here. Just to give a little, a little attraction there. I should put this on, what's it called? that photo thing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Your website?
No, that picture website.
Oh, Instagram?
Yeah.
Or Tumblr?
Yeah. So I'm cutting up some green onion. Green onion is really, really good in everything. In the morning I normally put some fresh parsley and green onion in my eggs. Really good. You should try it. Use a little Swiss cheese maybe. Really gives a nice fresh herb flavor. I like that better than just plain eggs. You can go straight down to the core. Don't be shy. Again, don't be shy. Add a little green onion to the top of this. If we had a little Parmesan cheese, I would. So I'm going to check and see in the fridge if we have some Parm. I don't think we do, so we might have to pass it, but Daniela does. She might. Finished product. We have no tin foil, so it's just going to go in the oven, open.
How long does it need to cook for?
This is going to cook for about 45 minutes. And then after the 45, I mean, we're going to focus on the sauce right now. And, you know, I'm going to put some of the remnants of the mixture into the sauce here so we won't waste anything. And it doesn't really matter. It's going in the pasta anyway, so. Give me a little flavor in there. Some more. Anything. Doesn't matter. Just throw it in. That's how I see it. That's how my family does it. That's what we do. Okay. And in the end, I have some avocados to put on top. Really good. And a little more salt. The grand finish.
How long does it need to be in the oven again?
45 minutes. Yep.
45 minutes.
For 45 minutes. Yep. Alright, everyone. The last step. You just gotta check and make sure that it's all ready. Roughly about 10-12 minutes. Perfect. I always cook it perfect. Alright, so we're just gonna get rid of this. Yow! Yow! Not smart, guys. Okay. And the peppers are finito. And they look very, very good. Yeah. Now that's good.
Delicioso!
The finished product. And some pasta. I get a couple spoonfuls of this, excuse me. So it doesn't stick together. Once my mom gets home, dinner is going to be cooled down a little bit and it will be served. This is the end of my cooking production, everybody. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time.